Hello and welcome. Today, we are going to decode that super confusing language of technology. If you've ever felt totally lost buying a new phone or computer, then this is definitely for you. We're going to turn all that technical jargon into simple, practical knowledge so you can buy smarter and, actually feel confident in your choices.
I mean, you've been there, right? You're just trying to make a smart purchase, and all of a sudden, the conversation is just filled with these terms that sound like a completely foreign language. It's a really common feeling, and it's exactly what we're here to fix. And this quote, it just perfectly captures that feeling, doesn't it? You're not asking for a huge list of specs. You just want to know if a device is right for you. Our goal today is to give you the confidence to actually navigate that conversation. So here's our roadmap. We'll start with service plans, then we'll take a look at those sneaky hidden fees in the fine print. After that, we're going to go inside the machine to understand the hardware. And finally, we'll learn the language of sales so you can spot a good deal from a mile away.
Okay, first things first, let's tackle your service plan. This is a huge decision that really shapes your entire bill, and it usually comes down to two main options: prepaid or monthly.
The difference is actually pretty simple. Prepaid means you pay before you use the service, kind of like filling up your car with gas. You are in complete control of how much you spend. A monthly plan is the total opposite. You use the service all month long and then you get a bill for it later. So prepaid is fantastic for controlling your budget, while monthly plans are generally better if you know you're going to be a consistent, heavy user.
Okay, so you've chosen a plan. Awesome. But before you sign anything, it's time to decode the fine print. This is where you'll find all the terms and, the extra charges that can make a really big difference to your final bill. You are going to hear this word a lot. To activate your phone or plan is just the one-time action of making it work. Think of it like turning on the power for the very first time. Your device is basically just sleeping until it's officially activated on the network. Now, here's a really key distinction. A fee isn't for a physical object. It's a charge for a service, like the act of activation itself. Understanding this little detail helps explain why so many different fees can pop up on your bill. Oh, this is a great feature to look for. Rollover is kind of like saving leftover pizza for tomorrow. You paid for it, right? So if you have 5 gigabytes of data, but you only use 4, that leftover gig isn't just lost. It gets moved, or rolled over, to the next month for you to use. It's a simple way to get more value from your plan.
And here's how an advertised price can be a little misleading. A $40 plan almost never costs just $40. Once you start adding things like activation fees, monthly service fees, and other charges, that price starts to climb. The big takeaway here? Always ask for the final, total, all-in monthly cost.
All right, let's switch gears from the service to the device itself. We're going inside the machine to demystify those technical terms like gigabytes and gigahertz, so you know exactly what you're buying.
The processor is the brain of your device. It does all the thinking. Its speed is measured in gigahertz, or GHz. And put simply, a higher GHz number means a faster brain, which translates to quicker app loading, smoother video, and just a less frustrating experience all around. Now for storage, it's really all about scale. A megabyte is small, good for maybe a simple document. A gigabyte is about 1,000 of those. That's enough for a few movies. And a terabyte, whoa, that's 1,000 gigabytes, enough to hold literally hundreds of movies. So when you're choosing, just remember, mega, giga, tera, from small to absolutely huge.
Oh man, we have all been there. A freeze is when your device just completely locks up. The screen is stuck, nothing responds. This usually happens when the processor, that brain we just talked about, gets overwhelmed. That's why having a faster processor and enough memory is so important. Finally, let's get you armed with the language of the sale itself. Understanding these common phrases is going to help you navigate the conversation and know exactly what's being offered. This is probably the most powerful question you can ask. Seriously, when an offer sounds just a little too good to be true, asking what's the catch is your way of uncovering that hidden downside. It forces the other person to be clear about all the conditions and maybe the not so great parts of a deal. Okay, let's quickly run through these. If they offer to throw in a case, they're just adding it for free. You're in luck is a classic sales phrase to create a little bit of urgency. Top of the line just means it's the best and, most expensive model. And compatible with is really just a fancy way of saying it works with something else. Simple. So as we wrap up, it's really important to remember one fundamental truth about all of this. Technology is always moving forward. That top-of-the-line device today will be pretty standard tomorrow, and yesterday's amazing tech will eventually become obsolete. And that's all obsolete means, that something isn't as useful anymore simply because a newer, better version now exists. This constant cycle of innovation is really what drives the entire world of technology. And I'll leave you with this one last thought. We've just spent all this time decoding the complex language of our devices. But as these machines get smarter and smarter, with AI and more intuitive interfaces, will the way we talk about them finally become simpler too? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.